For this screencast, we're going to be talking about how to properly format your works cited page at the end of your essay. Again, you'll see here I am in the Purdue OWL website. I'm going to click over here on the left where it says MLA sample paper. And when I do that, it takes me to this sample paper. I've already pulled myself to the very end. A few things that you want to make sure that you know about your works cited page. Your works cited page will always be the final page in your essay, and it gets its own page. As it says over here, it always begins on a new page. You're going to center the title here on the top line where it says Works Cited. It does not get underlined, bolded, or in a much larger font. It's just that in the center line of the first on the first line of the paper. Okay. You'll see that you still have that heading that you have on all of your pages. This is the final page of your essay, so you'll still have your last name and the page number over here in the corner. This document is very important as it includes a list of all the sources that you have cited in your paper. This word here is really important. Cited means that you actually used these sources in your essay and you referred to them directly. This is not simply a bibliography, which means that you read 10 different sources, but you only actually used 5 of them. If you only actually used 5 sources in your paper, there will only be 5 entries included on this final page here. A few things I want to point out. When you list your sources here, remember that this first piece of information here, as we know from the previous screencast, is the piece of information that will be signaled in the body of your essay where you use the information or in those in-text parenthetical citations. This information is alphabetized so that you'll want to make sure that this goes in alphabetical order. You'll notice that the entire document is still double spaced so that your whole essay gets double spaced, and that does include your works cited page. We have here what's called a hanging indent. So unlike your paragraphs in your essay where the first line is indented and the rest of the lines are not, this is reversed so that the first line of the entry does not get indented, but the remaining lines for that specific entry do get indented. This makes it visually easy for your reader to see that first piece of information from each of your sources here, so that when we see those signals in the body of your essay, it's easy to simply flip to the works cited page, look down in alphabetical order for that name that was used, and to find it because it's sticking out here on the left. If you have, for instance, an entry like this one here that only requires one line on the sheet, on the page, then you only hit return one time and the next entry starts on the next line. Anytime you have a line of text that starts all the way over at the 1-inch margin, that indicates that you are starting a new entry. It's easy for your reader to count how many sources you have. It's also easy for them to see those signal phrases, which are usually last names, but in some cases, as in this one, they're the title because there was no author. Again, this example that we're looking at here on the screen is from the Purdue OWL student sample essay. You also have a print copy that you can look at on page 579 in your textbook if you'd like to look at another sample works cited page.